Think you know what it costs to accept payments? Think again. Calculating the total cost of accepting payments is so complicated that most companies have no idea how much it actually costs them just to get paid. There are three big things impacting the total cost of accepting payments. 1. Interchange and assessments. Interchange rates are non-negotiable fees set by the card brands and make up nearly 90% of the direct cost of every transaction. These rates vary depending on several factors, including the type of card that's used, where the transaction occurs, how the card data is captured, what industry the business is in. In all, there are more than 300 interchange categories impacting rates. 9% of the costs are assessments from the card brands for items including brand usage fees, network access fees, cross-border fees, and high-ticket transaction fees, which leaves about 1% of the costs for the processor, who makes the entire transaction possible. 2. Chargebacks and fraud. Accepting payments, especially in a non-face-to-face environment, is risky. Online merchants will lose more than $3.4 billion to fraud in 2012. Fraud losses typically range from 50 to 90 basis points, with many companies writing off a full 1% of sales due to fraud. Nearly 7% of all online transactions are automatically declined. Unfortunately, many legitimate transactions are declined in the process. These false positives result in further lost sales and lost customers. Managing risk also requires significant labor resources. 10 to 30% of all online transactions result in an outsort, requiring a manual review by a caseworker. On average, caseworkers earn $20 per hour and can review 6 cases per hour. So if a company generates 1 million transactions per year and has to review 30% of them, it would take 24 caseworkers a full year to review all 300,000 cases at a cost of $960,000. Chargebacks are another significant cost factor. Companies spend nearly $50 in labor and overhead just to process a chargeback, leading many companies to simply write off chargebacks below a certain floor limit. And if a company has excessive chargebacks, the card brands can levy fines up to $25,000. 3. PCI compliance and data security. Data security has become an enormous global challenge. In 2011, there were 855 incidents of breach, representing 174 million compromised records. Cardholder data is the #1 target of hackers, making up to 78% of all investigated breaches. The average breach involves 28,000 records, costing $194 per record, resulting in a loss of nearly $5.5 million per incident. Beyond the immediate financial loss, companies often suffer a loss of customer trust, employee morale, investor confidence, and the value of their stock. Maintaining PCI compliance is a continuous and expensive endeavor, with companies spending $225,000 to $500,000 or more for an annual audit. And that figure doesn't include the labor costs or technology upgrades associated with maintaining compliance. But worst of all, as recent headlines have proven, PCI compliance alone does not guarantee that your data is secure. These three big things, interchange and assessments, chargebacks and fraud, PCI compliance, and data security, combine to make up a company's total cost of accepting payments. What can you do about it?